Welcome everyone, this is Kirk Almighty here. This is my Advanced Tactics Gold AI series. This is my second series done. There was some hiccups with the first one there. With the mod I was using, turned out it affected the transport capacity and it wasn't quite vanilla. And there was a little bug I ran into I was unaware of with the TOE system. So I kind of abandoned that series, and now I'm starting a new one. I actually have a mod in this one too. This is a pretty minor mod, and it does not affect any of the settings at all. There's no transport capacity issues. The only thing that was altered at all with this mod is just the diplomatic system. It's called a diplomatic block mod. It was created by Roy over there in the Matrix forums. His handle is Webenzine or something. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that. Probably his last name, I don't know. But what this mod does, and I think it's a good mod, I think it would be great for PvP, because in a lot of PvP games, players like to have a couple turns to set up anyway. And it's not a set in stone how long exactly, it's not set in stone how long exactly that mod is going to, or excuse me, the diplomatic block will last. What the diplomatic block does is you're not allowed to declare war until the diplomatic block lifts. And that includes the AI and any humans playing the game. The diplomatic block is guaranteed to last for the first 3 turns. In the first 3 turns, no war declarations can occur. On turn 4, there's about a 20% chance that block will lift, and then the chance increases after that with each turn. It should not go beyond, say, turn 7-ish or 8 maybe. In Roy's testing, most often the block lifted in turns 5 and 6. But more than likely it's going to lift somewhere between 4, 5, and 6. It was rare that it actually went beyond that. Also in this game, I decided I wanted to really challenge myself. And I've never actually played a game against AI++. As long as I've been playing Advanced Tactics, I've never actually done it. I've played against AI+ quite a bit. I can routinely defeat AI+. It gives me a good challenge, but I can beat it. Most often what I do is I'll play multiple AI opponents set on AI+, or AI, depending on how I'm feeling. And it's not quite as bad as it sounds because I don't ally the AIs. So the AIs can also declare war against each other, which can take some of the heat off you. Gives you a great, fun, challenging game though. But I don't even know if I can beat AI++. And it gives the AI such a huge advantage. I imagine it's possible to beat it, but it's probably really hard. So I thought I would give it a shot, and I don't know, I'm giving myself maybe a 30 or 40% chance of winning because I don't know how hard it's going to be, but I'm kind of leaning towards the possibility that I may lose. What AI++ does is it gives the AI a 250% production bonus, which means one AI is able to produce the same amount of production as 3.5 regular AIs. So it's a pretty big bump in its production. And so it's almost like me going up against 4 AIs. I mean, it's 3.5 AIs. You compound that with the fact that AI already doesn't use the resource system. It can build as many tanks as it wants to without ever running out of raw materials or fuel. It's quite an advantage for the AI, so I don't know if I can beat it or not. But let's go ahead and get this thing started here. Okay, and this is there is some script that was added as part of this this diplomatic block mod. This is the only altercation made here. Just gives you some script, lets you know the AI block is in. Basically, it's been in effect, and it'll also tell you when it lifts and all that, when the AI block lifts, and people can start declaring war and all that. And let's see. Okay, we'll acknowledge that. We'll move on. Okay, this war, as if you didn't notice on the main screen, is going to be between Germania and Japan. It's a great what-if war because these two were actually kind of allies. So it'll be interesting having the. I'll be playing the Japanese on this, so it'll be the Japanese Empire versus Germania. So we'll see how this goes. I think what I'm going to do. Oh, and you notice it starts earlier too. That's part of the mod. The reason for that is because of the 3-turn diplomatic block, and war can't even be declared till at the earliest turn 4. He adjusted the start date of the scenario a little bit, so that way, the diplomatic block should lift somewhere between April and August, and that way, in case it takes a long time to lift, it doesn't lift in the middle of winter. You'll still have at least some good weather to fight before winter starts to set in. Anyway, with that, I'm going to go ahead and pause this video here. I'm going to take my turn, start adjusting my forces, and I'll show you where I'm at before we wrap up this episode. Okay, we're back. And let's have a look here. You can see that I've done all my initial setups here. I combined all of the units in each stack here into one counter. And then I took the empty counters and kind of shifted them around. I created 5 armies. The idea is to have 2 armies in the north, basically hold a defense along here. Initially, I want to set up some kind of a strong defense, because I expect he's going to hit me pretty hard right off. He's going to be producing a lot more than me, so when the war is declared, he's probably going to come at me quite a bit, I'm thinking. This looks like a very good defensive position across here. And then down here, that's why I got 3 armies down here. I'm thinking more offensively to try and push my way to this river down here. I like the fact that any units he sends across the river over here are going to probably have some kind of supply issues, unless his engineer starts to build some kind of roadways. I could further complicate that if I'm able to actually take out this bridge here, because this bridge is then the supplies, instead of running across a road like that, is going to have to cross a river, and it's going to make the supply situation even worse for any units over here on this side of the river. I did give these generals all historical names over here, like I like to do. Here's Yamashita right there. But there we go. And then, of course, Tojo over there on the Supreme HQ. These guys have all been designated through the TOE system as garrisons. It's the only templates I made so far. I made a garrison template. I'll be sending the SMGs in there that I have because, well, the SMGs will defend well in a city, and they're not going to be particularly useful on this map. The map is much more conducive to the rifle unit. There's not a lot of terrain out there that an SMG is going to do well in. There's my engineer template. I had a total of 6 stacks, so that's 60 engineers. I made 3 engineer units at 20 strength. So I'm going to let the TOE system actually just start to shift this stuff around for me. In the meantime, my production, I created the 5 HQs, and I actually have 5 production cities outside of my outside of my capital. So what I got is the production for the capital city is going to Supreme HQ, where I'm creating some stuff here, some additional trucks and trains to improve my transport capacity in Supreme HQ. And then I got each individual headquarters here has got, well, this is what every headquarters has got going to: 48 staff, 4 trucks. The trucks will further help the TOE system too. It's also going to increase the mobility of these staff. After an next turn, I'm just going to start spamming infantry units, primarily riflemen, to start filling out these armies. Till then, let's see. Yeah, I think let's see, how many supplies are in? 44 out. I might be able to get away too in the first round and just not even produce any supplies and get a little bit more political points in here. Because I'm going to have to create some counters next turn. That'll give me 26 political points. And that, I'm going to call that a wrap for turn 1 here. And I'll let the TOE system do its work. We will end the video here, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.